end, but on YouTube I can see that it's good. But
Yeah, he moving on my end. I can see him.
okay, I see him
Yeah,
now.
I'm good. Can you guys hear me?
We
Yep,
can hear.
yep, yep.
All
So
right, cool.
welcome. We just kind of was having a little discussion while we were waiting on you to sign on. Um,
Right,
so
right.
yeah, everyone, this is Midwest Matthew. He's an upcoming artist. Tell us what kind of artist you are.
Uh, so I do quite a few things, but under the name Midwest Matthews, is just music. So more of a conscious rapper, or some people say backpack rapper. Into that type of like boom bap type stuff, but also have kind of a wide range of different styles I'll go into. So sometimes I live in Iowa, so that kind of rubbed off on me a little bit as far as like rock music. So I'll kind of blend that in a little bit and just kind of scream on songs sometimes and stuff like that, and try to mix it up and just express myself however I want to.
And my apologies. I'm sorry. I should have introduced you to my co-host Boom with Podcast Lit.
Yo,
Hey, what's up? Good to meet you.
good to meet
Midwest
you, bro.
Monster is in here. No, I'm
Hey,
playing.
man, I'm from the Midwest too, man. So I'm with you, bro. I'm with you, man.
So, what type of artist do you consider yourself to be?
He's a conscious rapper.
Yeah, yeah, I would say like a conscious rapper, more I'm a lyricist, so I'm really big on lyrics. Um and yeah, I would say like lyricist, lyrical, conscious, and like a more of a spoken word. Because sometimes I'll do stuff. If you hear some of my stuff, it's like I'll just do random um patterns of like delivery. So like how the Migos, they all stuck on that same and then a lot of people just start doing
Mhm.
those. So I might do something that's like I'll just say like a poem type thing. I'll kind of say it more spoken word like, but it'll be over it might still be over a trap beat or something. Just to kind of switch it up. So I like to just be different, I guess. And different,
Okay,
conscious, spoken word artist.
that's good. Okay.
what
Was
made you?
there any? Go ahead, Boom.
What made you? What made you want to be a conscious rapper?
Um it's just kind of I guess it's just where I gravitated toward. I'm just kind of like I like to learn. So like I like to learn a lot of different stuff. I've always been interested in just learning. So it's kind of um let me see how to make that a simple thing. Okay, so like when it comes to like consciousness and all that type of stuff, um I was into like the Black history and all that. I think like conscious people or people that are in the conscious community or what they would call woke people and stuff, a lot of them have like the same type of things that they'll look into, I should say. So I would say like, okay, it's kind of like just innate in me, number one, just to be learning stuff. And then once I started learning more, it's like I learned more about Black history. I learned more about the music industry, and I start to see different things. And then I start to see, okay, they got gangster rap, and then I see the um, how they'll try to manipulate certain artists to make them feed into the society that they've created, which would be like, oh, we want everybody that's Black to do this and act this way, and then also to get them to go into these prisons and stuff like that. So after knowing that knowledge, it's kind of hard for me to make music that's saying like, oh, you should go, you need to go sell some bricks, because I know that I
Mm-hmm.
would just be contributing to what these people that don't even hire me, because it's one thing also like you're getting $1 million from a record label, but some of these people don't even get paid from the record label. I'm not saying it's right whether you're getting paid or not, but I'm just saying some of them not even getting paid, but they're still under that same mindset where they have to promote certain things that lead to nothing good,
Well, of
Um,
course, because number one, because I listened to a couple of your songs, so I kind of figured you was a conscious rapper from listening to a couple of your songs. But like you were saying, like when you go to these record labels and stuff, um, and that's Miss Londa, we was having this conversation a minute ago when we was talking about the whole YSL situation, man, and that's what I was trying to tell y'all, like, we could sit here and we could talk about trying to get all of these people out the music industry, but what you got to understand is these people, these record labels, they will take anybody who is willing to talk about the bullshit. So we can all come out and start talking about and being conscious, but they gonna find somebody who gonna talk about it. Don't even have to make sense. They're gonna find somebody who gonna talk about the dumb shit, and that's the person who gonna get the $1 million deal. And even though we give you the $1 million deal, once you get that $1 million, they don't tell you that that's gonna go towards your tour bus, that's gonna go towards your clothes that we putting on you, that's gonna go towards your studio time. You know, you walk out of that thing, you probably got like 200,000 off your $1 million deal or something like that. But a person that's coming from, you know, ramen noodles and ravioli gonna take that and sign that contract, you know, and then that's why you see all these people like, oh, I can't wait to get out of this contract, this, that, and the other, because, you know, once they start seeing it, because they wasn't conscious before they came in there, once they actually start seeing what it is, then what they have to do, and the reason they can't even, like, you know, speak on the things that they want to speak on. Like, you can have this person who they want you come in speaking all this trap, but then when you see what it's actually doing to the people, you're like, hold on, let me come this route. And the company like, no, you know what? You try and go that route, you break me the deal. Now you owe us. You don't even got the money to pay us back. So now you're finna be in debt. Like, but yeah, so I definitely understand what you're talking about when you speak on the conscious thing, because it's dope that you are a conscious rapper, and that you speak on that. I heard you talking about GMOs and the weed. I heard you talking
about high frequency.
Yeah,
that's my joint right there. That's like it was a mix of like trap type, you know what I mean? I then also put like a bunch of stuff, and I just like the way I wrote that. So yeah.
And that was definitely dope, man. I like how you speak to the women on the cocoa butter drip. Excuse me. So it's like I definitely feel you on where you're coming from, man. You don't get too many these conscious rappers right now. Everybody preaching the same thing, and a lot of these dudes only want their kids to hear what they're speaking on. But it's definitely dope that you're speaking on that, man. So I just wanted to say that.
And that was a good point too, because I guess I didn't think about that point. That was another thing. I used to have like now I'll just say the N word. Like I'll have that. I used to have it more in my music and whatnot, but it's all. I used to just have. I had a whole some of my old stuff. I took it down, but I used to I fed into that mindset until I learned more. And then I was like, I want some stuff that like people can listen to with their family. Or with kids in the car. I do cuss a little bit, but I try to take the cussing down unless it was like really meaningful. Like if I really needed to emphasize a word or it serves some purpose, then I try to do that. But a lot of the time it's just I took all that out just so everybody can listen to it, and then I can put those messages in there, like you said, with those songs, and let people learn something.
And see, that's the kind of route that I'm trying to take now. Like I'm not into music. I used to be. I still make a little beats or whatever. But as far as my podcast lit, like it was really supposed to be lit. We were supposed to get on here and we were supposed to go in, talk about all the drama, everything. You know what I'm saying? Just be talking crazy, like. But as I was doing research on stuff, I started seeing so much bullshit. And I'm like, why am I even about to give y'all this? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because y'all can go find out on your own. What about the stuff that y'all not finding? Let me go ahead and talk about that, because it'd be a lot of real stuff going on that people don't see. And then by the time they do see it, it'd be done already smacked them in the face. Like, you know, so I definitely like how you're speaking on it, because people don't know even about the GMOs being in the weed, and about how, you know, that's almost feminizing people. They don't understand what's going on with that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just dope that you're even talking about these things, because it might make a person even go research it. Like, what this person's talking about? Let me go look at what he's talking about, man. Because once people actually start researching, they understand. Like, if you are going to smoke it, first off, you shouldn't even smoke it. You should drink it like a tea. You know what I'm saying? But if you are going to smoke it, like it's better if you grow it yourself. You know, because the things they putting in it down there turn you into something you don't want to be. You thinking it's just weed, man. You be done. You know what I'm saying? Be out here.
Yeah. Because that's my thing with those dispensaries. Like they're making all these dispensaries. Well, when I lived in Cali, they had a dispensary already, but now they're making it legal like in a lot of different places. So that was really where the skepticism was coming from. Like, I don't know if the same old weed from back in the day is the same, or if it's natural or whatever, but I was just kind of skeptical if the government is taking over it, or they're giving subsidies or whatever they're doing to have these people build up these businesses. Then I'm like, well, it's very possible that they could put something in there and that can affect then like from what I've learned, they can target certain people just based off DNA, which is like the Indian people. They said Native Americans, which some people will say is black, but like what we would consider Indian or Native American, they said that they have a genotype that makes them more they have more of a likelihood to get addicted to alcohol. And then you see them with the reservations. They got the reservation, but then they put a casino and then they try to like get them on alcohol. At least that's what it seems like. And then with I heard something with Dick Gregory and somebody else. They were talking about crack cocaine. They're saying black people's DNA. They're saying crack cocaine, when you look at the molecule, it's like a high powered sugar. Pretty much. And they said something about like black people, and they broke down the DNA, how we would get it's more likely for us to get addicted to crack versus another ethnicity, just because of the way that our our DNA or something bonds to the crack and something like that. I don't know. But then white people, you see them with more like meth, like Iowa's big was big with meth. So maybe that's their thing. So it might be something, and they can target people and stuff like that. So
not to mention when it's black people, we crackheads, but when it's white people, it's opioid. It's an opioid problem, right? It's different, right? Real quick,
Asian.
Before I give yourself back, Miss Law, don't give yourself back. I just want to speak on that, Jim.
That's okay.
But no, when you're talking about that and you're talking about the DNA change, I did read up where they were saying that some of these dispensaries were like the chemicals that they were using. It was one chemical that could turn a male frog into a female frog. That tripped me out. Like, you know what I'm saying? That really blew my mind.
Or something like that, I think.
Oh, so you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think it's called atrazine, because Islam was talking about that too. How they changed like a frog.
Man, that's my dude right there, Riz. I like you, man. You like Grizzly? Yeah. That's my dude. Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah, they closed like 5 of his pages or something or more. I don't know.
Shutting him down every time he make one. They shut him down. I'm following everyone. All right, I'm sorry, Ms. Londa. Go ahead.
That's okay. So I just wanted to ask: was there anyone in the industry, like any artist in the industry, that you looked up to when you were growing up?
Yeah. So when I was younger, and it's funny because like a lot of people talking about him now, but I really loved Genuine. He was one of my favorite artists. So that was like 96 or 7. I remember he came out with Pony, and then I just like I loved because he just seemed like real GQ. Like he was just like the ladies' dude. Like he looked fresh. He could sing, dance. So I was like, damn. And so then from him, because my brother and them, they're the ones that kind of like taught me, I guess, what was cool and what wasn't. So they're the ones I learned like about beats from. So like we loved so my thing was Genuine, and then they were always talking about Timbaland and his beats. And then they had their whole group. So it was Aaliyah, Timbaland, Missy Elliott, Magoo, Playa, and probably a few other people that were all in there. But so we loved all of them. And then other than that was just Outkast. I loved Outkast. I have a lot of family from Georgia, so it just. And then they always did stuff kind of like I said, I like to do stuff kind of weird or different. I don't like to do everything the same as everybody. So I liked that they would just wear different stuff. Music was dope. Weird. The videos would be weird. Stuff like that. So those were my main 2 people growing up that I would really mess with.
So I wanted to play your song. Give me a second here.
This is for the melanated woman out there, because I don't feel like it's said enough that you're beautiful, naturally.
It's that cocoa butter drip. With that mocha colored skin. You hot yellow, but you fit. Cause you got cocoa butter drip.
I used to get real loud, now I keep shit quiet. Used to get real flashy. Try to be on some fly shit. I used to eat like a fatty, but now I'm on a diet. Shout out to Dr. Saban, Lisa Lopez, left eye. Nowadays, not murder, the main reason people are dying. They try to take a blood system in, get fast, moving quick. Drop past and make a whip. It's a different type of shit. This is a black on black, it is good versus evil. Got a black on strap, and it's aimed through your peephole. Now open up for business. I'm going to Collie in it. Bro, we are the killers. We're the killers. We're the killers. We're the killers. Say the killers on the loose. We're the killers. We're the killers. It's the killers. Say the killers on the loose. It's the killers. It's the killers. It's killers. It's killers on the loose. It's killers. It's killers. It's killers. Has me my 5-year plan. Team will stay strong to the fucking end. And man, that might be tomorrow. Gotta live life like you won't see tomorrow. Cause ain't shit guaranteed. That's why some people smoke hella weed and act like it's not an addiction. And I'm not ashamed, I fell victim. Everybody's on drugs, trying to find escape. Well, welcome to hell. Take the number, then wait. We'll be right with you. Don't worry, we won't miss you. We got money on your head. We're gonna certain up kill you. You're definitely a victim. I can foresee and promise. This the end of your world. I think I'ma do the honors. It's like, lift my weights up and now I feel loose. Everything I do is big news. Everything you do is everything you do is everything you do is questionable. Raise up the decibels. Just clapping to the beat like a metronome. Got me speaking in tongues like Rosetta Stone. Now I focus real hard. They limit some to only 33. And Freemasons, Prince Halls for those that look like me. And when I went to college, I saw people pledging Greek. What is the origin? Is it black mythology? I want to break down. You gonna teach me or deceive? Critical race theory got banned where I live. Teachers can no longer include it in the curriculum. Complex mathematics will teach you derivatives. And the current day predicament is derivative where we've been. Keep it simple, stupid. They just want a kiss. But a kiss on the lips is not all they show the kids. Sexual situations and ass they grip. Confusing the fluidity makes the world start to twist. And their minds start to bend and new thoughts creep up in. From propaganda they blend in pop culture, religion, and cartoons and comics hypnotize with the lights and the music and the trends. And they meant into a new lens for society to see the world with. Want you in a boat with no paddle stuck in a whirlwind. To the point that you lost all culture, forgot your origin. It's a memory game, even attack your DNA. But the spirit's too chaotic for the games we wanna play. We have streams of consciousness like bulbs flickering through the haze.
All right, you guys, you heard it. That was Cocoa Melon Drip by Midwest
Cocoa Butter.
Matthews. Oh, sorry, Cocoa Butter Drip. I'm sorry, you guys. I apologize.
That's a kid show.
You were holding your CD. If you want to hold that up again and tell them where that.
Oh yeah. My bad. I was just over here trying to do shit. Do stuff. My bad. So this is my new album called If You Need Me. You can find this. It should be on pretty much every platform. Don't mind my nails. All right. And then also have physical copies. You know, I could send you a copy if you really want one. I mean, it's a really dope CD. You'll see like a video of what the CD looks like, the digital, what do you call that? Digital proof of it. It'll show you like a 3D version, like as if you had this in your hand. You can see what the inside looks like. I think it's really cool. And then on here, so just so you guys know, it says call if you need me. Some people might be like, what is that? So I had a black girl, African girl, that I know. She's a model. She played Kali. So Goddess Kali, who has multiple arms, and Kali just kills off ignorance and things like that. So if you're in the conscious community, you probably heard somebody like Bobby Hemmett talk about Goddess Kali and whatnot. So yeah, that's what this is. And we made it modern. So instead of all the I think she holds like daggers and stuff like that. We had her hold a pistol, had her hold an android head instead of like the Indian dude's head, a chain, stuff like that. So we just kind of modernized it and made it black instead of a blue, which is what they use to represent black people, from what I understand. Here and there. Opened up for Razzcast one time. That was one of my first performances that I ever did, actually. So I think that's the biggest one I've ever did.
Who is Razzcast?
He made a song. He used to be with like West Coast rappers like Mac Dre, Mac Dre, Ice Cube, like all those type of people. I forgot what their group was called. It's called West Coast Connection. Yeah, it was like West Coast Connection. That's what all them people. And he made some song that was like real controversial. If you look up Razzcast, Raskass, you'll see, and type in like controversial song, there's some type of big song he did. So yeah.
Okay. All right. And so then my last question was, where do you see your career?
Say the last part one more time. It cut out. You said, where do I see my career? And then it cut out.
As an artist in 2 years.
Oh, in 2 years, it's really hard to say. I'm really into like spiritual stuff, so like I just kind of follow my gut, and um, we were just talking about that actually with that cocoa butter drip video, how that came about. It just stuff just happens. So anything can happen overnight. As far as like, I come up with a song and that can blow up. So who knows? But I think good stuff will happen. I just try not to limit myself by saying this is going to happen for sure. Then, it doesn't happen, or some I'm led in a different route. So I think good stuff, most definitely. I just made like 5 new songs in the last 2 weeks. So I think I'm gonna drop a new EP. But just keep on making new music and dropping some conscious stuff. Sometimes I do lectures, and hopefully I get more into that community too, because I like that. I want to go to lectures live, not just see them through YouTube and live streams and stuff. So probably just be more in that community, and hopefully my stuff will blow up more, and I'll make more dope stuff that people enjoy.
Okay.
And
well, I would like, of course, I would like to thank you for joining. But before I go, I want to say to you too, this is my disclaimer. The song that was played, I had permission from the actual artist who is sitting here actually doing an interview with me. He gave me permission. If you could just let them know you gave me permission. I don't own any copyrights to the song that was played.
Yeah, I give you full permission to do your thing with it, however you want to do it, play it however you want to play it. Do you want me to shout you out or anything? Like do a drop or something? Or,
I mean, if you would like to, that's fine. But if you guys, I'll let you start first. If you guys want to, let everybody know where they can find you before we go, what platforms you're on.
Start with me?
Yes.
Okay. And so if I shout you out, I should just say Miss Londa with Sip and Talk podcast?
Yeah, Sip and Talk podcast. Yes.
And Boom with Podcast Lit?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, yep. Shout out Shout out Miss Londa with Sip and Talk podcast for letting me come on here and, do this and interviewing me and stuff like that, because I definitely need these type of platforms. And shout out to Boom with the Podcast Lit for also asking some very good questions and just being here, and everything like that. It's very dope. So thank you. Oh, and you can find me on.
I used to get real loud, now I keep shit quiet. Used to get real flashy, try to be on some fly shit. I used to eat like a fatty, but now I'm on a diet. Shout out to Dr. Saber, Lisa Lopez, left eye. Nowadays, not murder the main reason people are dying. They try to take your blood system in or get your brain to fine. It's a psyop, it's a cyclops. I only see one way. I see between the lines like an old TV stage. Shit, I'm out by the plan to make you all pay. Big Benjamin, stash away for rainy days. You don't got drip, purify where you stay.